Your shipping drives me crazy. That's right. Your shipping, it drives me crazy. That that is what someone said to me in a comment not too long ago. Kind of took me back, but I'm not surprised because I know my shipping does drive some of you crazy. Today we're going to talk about a debate that took place after that comment between two YouTube users about the hobby between sellers and collectors. We know there's a big disconnect there at times, and you know what? This conversation showed it, and I want to talk about it. So let's get into this because it's going to be a fun one. So it all started off when Bill said, "Watching you pack cards drives me crazy." But he did admit it's probably just his OCD. And he says shipping such low dollar cards and that effort doesn't make sense to him. And I get it. It doesn't make sense to everybody. He's been a seller for over 25 years. He does free shipping, builds the cost into the item price, and he's been having a lot of success. Even after the stimmy money ran out, he kept having success because he offers free shipping, promotions, coupons, and has sales going all of the time. So his sales have stayed pretty steady. Congratulations. I know a lot of users have not had such success. He says, keep grinding. That low dollar stuff, though, it's just not fun. Wow, Bill. Wow. I kind of feel attacked here, but I know I don't. I'm cool. I really like some of the stuff you said. My packing, it drives you crazy. Sorry. The tape is an overkill. Hey, this comment was from 2 weeks ago. If you see my last couple videos, been starting to cut back a little bit on tape, and we've been talking about that, like trying to find different ways to do the shipping, to cut back on tape. So, hey, bear with me. Things are changing. But that much work on low dollar cards doesn't make sense. No, but am I really doing much work? You guys see it. My shipping is usually done in about 10, 15 minutes, however long these videos last. So is it really much work? I don't know. Good to see you do the free shipping on everything. Let's see. You put everything into your costs. That's good. You should. You need to cover yourself on that shipping. At $4, that's good. And it allows you room to negotiate and recoup. Sounds pretty good. Sold on eBay for over 25 years. I've been over 20 myself. Free shipping, promoted, and sales are always going. That's great. Coupons, dude. Sounds like you're doing awesome, and you have a system that works for you, and that is completely cool. I'm glad you got something that works for you. Your sales have stayed steady even after the stimulus money. That is good because I know a lot of people, it didn't happen that way. And the low dollar stuff just isn't fun. All depends on your definition of fun. Now, for me, I think it's from when I was an everything reseller. I just can't do free shipping on everything. I do with cards, but if I'm going to sell this stuff, I can't just build it into the price. Because when I start offering, the discounts and all that, you're still taking a percentage off of your shipping. So if I had a $15 card, now card's not a good example because I just said I do it on cards or the free shipping. Say I have a $15 video game plus $5 shipping. Just say it's $5 shipping, so it's gonna be $20. So to cover that, you put it at $20. You're willing to take $5 off. You now bring it to $15. You now have the shipping off of that. You have the fees off of that. And your cost drops pretty low. If I'm willing to do a $15 game plus $5 shipping, and I take $5 off, that's $10 that gets the fees. The shipping's still covered. The price is going to be pretty close in the end, but I feel like you're going to lose out on a little more doing it that way. But, it's neither here or there. We all got different ideas on what works. I feel like that can start to hurt you a little more when you get to the higher up and heavier items than, say, those first class items like the example I just gave. So, I don't know. Maybe my example wasn't good. But at the end of the day, I appreciate that comment. If I feel a little attacked about the tape, Because, you know, we all have systems that work for us. I've said it time and time again in these videos, and I will never stop saying it. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. There is just personal feelings on what works for us, and that's what we stay with. You know, we always say facts over feelings, but when it comes to eBay's system, do we ever actually have facts on what is the correct way to do things? I don't think ever. Now, the debate really took place with keeping the hobby alive. He said maybe it's just the right thing to do. And that's how I feel. I want to pack things up, make it good for you guys. Make sure you get what you want in the right condition. He says, literally, telling someone not to do something because it doesn't benefit themselves is literally what's killing the hobby. And that's interesting to me. And, you know, for some people, that's a little punch in the gut. All right, keeping the hobby alive. Things now are starting to get a little chippy, guys. I like it. See, I coach sports. I tell you all that. Sometimes you like when the boys get a little chippy because, you know, things get real and it gets a little focus. But here on YouTube, I don't know. I think really what this comment shows is the difference between collectors, people really just looking to, you know, build their collections. If they sell, it's to also benefit their collection, get something. Keeping the hobby alive. Obviously, this is more of a collector than a business for this person. At least I think it is. But it's the right thing to do, really making sure it's secured, even on a $1.75 card. That I agree with you. I don't want cards that slide around. If I got one of these in the mail and the card was sliding around, I'd be pretty damn pissed. So for me, doing the right thing, I agree with you. It's the right thing to do. That's why I do it. That's how I try to do most of the stuff in my life. Now, is that one of the things killing the hobby? I think that's a little overboard. People in every industry are just going to want to do stuff that's going to benefit them, especially if it's a business for that person. And I'm assuming for Bill, I mean, he's been selling for over 25 years. This is probably how he makes his living. Just assuming, Bill, you could correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't think it's something that's necessarily killing the hobby. It's just something that might make some buyers who look at things differently, as the card they bought is the world to them, even if it's $1.75, to the seller who's thinking, I made another sale, let me get this out the door. There's two different mindsets. I don't think it's killing the hobby. So I don't know. I think that one's kind of a little off base. But again, we've all got our own opinions, especially when it comes to a hobby. I love collecting, I love selling. I try to look at things from both sides of the aisle. That's why I try to take care in some of the stuff I send and, you know, constantly think of things. Now, Bill did respond. He said, no, it really comes down to what is my time worth. And I get it because he's a businessman. He is a seller over 25 years on eBay. So I get it. He says sales minus acquisition costs minus fees equals your profit before taxes. But you also can't forget other things like supplies, eBay store, inventory costs. All of that stuff, it brings it down even more, and you're going to be making at best $8 to $10 an hour if you sell 100 cards at $3 plus to 50 buyers. At the end of the day, you're probably only going to walk away with about $100. Your time really isn't worth the money you just got, is what he's saying, and I get it. He also added that the packaging steps in my process could be shortened, and I'll have more time available to list and go source higher ROI cards. That I really want to talk about because I don't quite agree, but we will get into that. As a business, he no longer allows himself to blur the lines between a collector and businessman, and that I respect and also we'll talk about. Now, as we unpack all of that Bill came back with, like I just said, keeping the hobby alive, obviously, this is a business for Bill. This is how Bill is making his money. And you can tell by the breakdown he has on cost, time. And he says, and as a business, he no longer allows himself to blur the lines of being a collector and a business. And that's where I think a lot of the problems in the hobby are right now. Some people, especially collectors, don't look at the business side of things. The people that are pure collectors, if they sell some cards, they just wanted to buy more cards. They don't fully look at the business side. And Bill, I agree 100%. If this is your business, you can't look at things from a collector standpoint. Now, some of you guys are probably thinking, no, you're wrong, Paul. You're wrong. I can't. And you know what? You can. But what you have to do is the collector side of you is your profit side, and you are now looking at the stuff for your PC. That you can keep separate. I do believe that. I'm telling you, I haven't even touched on the rest of this yet, but I'm already thinking of some of the stuff that's going to be said in the comments, and I think this video is going to create some good content, comment-wise, for us to keep talking about over the next week or so. So guys, let it rip. You agree with me? You disagree with me? Make sure to drop comments on this. And what do you think about, just the thread that went on between these two? And what are your opinions? It's going to create some good comments. I know it. I just know it. So make sure to do that. But guys, don't go away. I'm not done. I'm not done talking about this. Yeah, Bill says a lot of great things. It comes down to time. And as a business, your time is everything. You need to maximize every bit of your time to make profit, because that's what you're living off of. So I fully get it. One of the things I said earlier in this video, my packaging doesn't take up much time. If anything, it takes up more time because I'm stopping to read comments and talk to you guys about them. That's where my time is being taken up. My time isn't being taken up in my packaging process. So saying packaging steps could be shortened to add more availability to list and source items with higher ROI. I disagree. There's not many steps in this process that could be shortened. Okay, maybe using a little extra 2 pieces of tape, but that's seconds. Seconds. Okay, and I'm sure you'd probably say, like, well, if you ship 60 cards and it's a second per card, that's a minute of your day. Add that up over a week, add that up over a month. How much time did you lose that you could have been doing something else? You make a good point. You make a good point, but not a realistic point. Because time in our day also gets sucked up by other stuff. Other stuff today isn't going to be added up by the second I save every day. So is it really going to be something that actually helps me get more time to list more days, more ROI? No, an extra minute or two isn't going to make much of a difference. That's just looking too into things, and that's also unrealistic. But yeah, it is about the bottom line. If you're going to treat this as a business, it is about your time. Just didn't really agree on the packaging steps. And with the low dollar cards making $8 to $10 hours at best, you're probably right. I haven't done the math. I tell you guys all the time in these videos, I don't make much, but I don't dedicate much. You see this, you may know I have about an 18,000 item store listing. That takes time. It does. But most of this stuff is just done while I have free time. I'm sorting cards while I'm watching TV at night with my wife. I'm listing cards while I'm watching TV at night with my wife. Yeah, I know. That's time I can be spending with my wife, which I am. How many of us are actually sitting there? How many of you are actually sitting there watching TV with your wife? Talking to your wife and watching TV. You're both just watching the TV. So if I'm getting something else done, nowadays, both of you are probably on your phone, looking at stuff on your phone, right? Most of you, am I right? So it just, instead of sitting on my phone, I sit on my laptop and list the cards that I took, 15, 20 minutes to scan while I was on a break at work. And the shipping, oh, crumble that. My shipping definitely could be done quicker. 100%. How can it be done quicker? By turning this off and not talking with you guys. But what fun is that? I enjoy making these videos. This scratches that little YouTube itch I have, which would then take time away from me doing this, because then I'd be making videos about other stuff and it would take time from the business. But guys, interesting conversation between people here. It was good to see some interaction between you guys, because usually there's not much back and forth about any topic. So I enjoyed seeing that. Something I wanted to touch on, because it does kind of go between that collector seller and the differences on how we all look at the hobby. So I thought that was pretty cool. Guys, definitely leave comments. Leave comments on this, because I think this is a great topic. I think it's a topic I'm sure a lot of you guys are watching and have thoughts about. So share them here, and it's more that we can talk about, because guys, keeping the hobby alive and making the hobby fun for everybody is kind of finding that middle ground between a seller and a collector. It's not one against the other, because there's no hobby if you can't coexist. So something I think we need to know. Let me know in the comments. I'd really love to know what you guys think. And after you're done watching that comment, why don't you go check this video out? Is it worth it to sell low-end sports cards? One of my most popular videos, and it's really, is it worth the time? Like Bill says, time's money. Catch you guys on the next one.